He's in his 30s. He has a job, maybe even a family. But emotionally, he's still stuck in high school. You've met him. Maybe you've dated him. Maybe you work with him. Or maybe you're starting to wonder if you are him. The man-child is not just a meme or a joke. It's a psychological wound. A wound that Carl Jung, one of the greatest thinkers of the 20th century, explored in depth. But what causes it? And more importantly, how do we grow beyond it? In every man, there is a boy who once dreamed. A boy who longed to be seen, to be strong, to be loved. But what happens when that boy never leaves? When he hides in the grown man's body, calling the shots from behind the curtain? Carl Jung called this archetype the Puer Aeternus, Latin for eternal boy. It's the Peter Pan of the psyche, charming, visionary, but terrified of responsibility. And over time, this refusal to grow up doesn't just damage relationships, it kills the soul. But here's the truth. The man-child isn't evil. He's wounded, trapped between a fear of maturity and a longing for freedom. If you've ever felt stuck in life, sabotaging your own success, avoiding commitment, chasing distraction instead of depth, this episode is for you. Let's explore the psychology, the pain, and the potential transformation of the man-child, and how Carl Jung's teachings, though over a century old, still hold the keys to our evolution today. Carl Jung didn't see the man-child as just a social issue. He saw it as a fundamental psychological archetype. The Puer Aeternus is not just an immature man. He is a dreamer, a visionary, a lover of freedom, imagination, and possibility. But he is also a fugitive from reality, from time, duty, structure, and consequence. Every form of addiction is bad, Jung once said, no matter whether the narcotic be alcohol or morphine or idealism. The man-child is addicted to potential, but he fears limits. He romanticizes youth. He fears aging. He wants the thrill without the risk, the joy without the responsibility. And in today's culture, where escapism is a click away and adolescence is prolonged, the poor thrives. You'll find him everywhere. The guy who blames everyone else for his failures. The one who can't hold a job, not because he's lazy, but because he's too good for that. The man who dates but never commits. The artist who dreams but never creates. But beneath all this, there's pain. A deep, aching fear that if he truly tries, he'll truly fail. Jung taught that every archetype has a shadow, a hidden, repressed side. For the Puer Aeternus, the shadow is the senex, the old man. Discipline, order, routine, responsibility. He avoids this energy like the plague. Why? Because it feels like death. Growing up to the eternal boy feels like betrayal. Betrayal of joy, of imagination, of freedom. But the truth is, maturity isn't death, it's integration. Until you make the unconscious conscious, Jung wrote, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. The man-child runs from the father, both literal and symbolic. He fears being boxed in. But in truth, the box is inside of him. It's the fear of being ordinary, of being vulnerable, of being enough. And so he sabotages. He procrastinates. He lives in a cycle. Start something, get bored or afraid, abandon it, blame others or the world, repeat. But if he never finishes, he never fails. To understand the man-child, we must go back, not to his last job, but to his first heartbreak, his first abandonment, his first wound. Many eternal boys were either overprotected or emotionally neglected, either smothered or ignored. In both cases, they never fully separated from childhood. In tribal societies, boys underwent rites of passage. They were taken into the wild, tested, initiated, and then returned as men. But in modern culture, these rituals are gone, and so many boys are left stranded, physically mature, but emotionally adrift. The greatest burden a child must bear is the unlived life of its parents. Carl Jung. Some carry their father's failures. Others live in rebellion against them. But without a rite of passage, without mentors, without challenge, they remain boys in men's bodies. It's easy to point fingers. But what if the man-child lives in you? Here are a few signs. You fear long-term commitment in relationships, career, or location. You avoid structure, planning, or discipline. You fantasize about potential, but rarely follow through. You struggle with authority or responsibility. You have bursts of inspiration, but burn out quickly. You resist routine, even when it helps you. The man-child isn't just a stereotype. It's a voice inside. And the more we deny him, the more he controls us. But here's the hope. Awareness is the beginning of transformation. There is a deep sadness in the man who never grows up. He may look free, but he's often lost, addicted, anxious, stuck in shallow relationships, trapped in fantasy, avoiding intimacy. His partners grow tired. His friendships fade. His ambitions rot. Because to grow, we must choose. And the man-child avoids choice. He wants to keep every door open, but in doing so, he walks through none. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. Carl Jung. And so his soul shrinks. His life becomes a loop. Until one day, the mirror reflects not a boy, but a man haunted by a life unlived. But it doesn't end here. This isn't a tragedy, it's a call. The man-child can grow, and when he does, he becomes a force of nature. Because the goal isn't to kill the boy, it's to integrate him, to bring his vision, creativity, and imagination into adulthood, into purpose, into action. Jung called this process individuation, the journey to becoming your whole self. It begins with responsibility, doing what you say, owning your choices, discipline, not to punish, but to direct your energy, purpose, serving something greater than your ego, shadow work, facing your wounds, your fears, your father, ritual, creating your own rites of passage, through challenge, through mentors, through inner work. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become. Carl Jung. The eternal boy can become the noble man, the one who builds, who protects, who loves, who leads, not by abandoning the dreamer, but by giving him roots. So, why do some men never grow up? Because they were never shown how. Because they were never initiated. Because they were never loved for who they are, only for what they could be. But now, the world needs men who are whole, not perfect, but whole. Men who can laugh, cry, build, protect, create, and commit. Men who walk with both boyish wonder and mature wisdom. If you're a man watching this, and some part of this hit home, know this. You're not alone. You're not broken. You're becoming. And if you're someone who loves a man-child, don't try to fix him. Invite him. Challenge him. Support him. But he must choose to grow. Because growing up isn't about losing freedom. It's about earning it. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Carl Jung. Thank you for being here, for listening, for reflecting. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, the journey to manhood isn't a race. It's a return to self.